Thank you, Chairman Sprinkle, and members of the committee for your time and your attention. It means a lot to me. My name is Georgiann Davis, and for more than 10 years, I have studied the ways in which intersex is experienced and contested in contemporary U.S. society. I've published numerous peer-reviewed articles on the topic of intersex in a variety of scholarly journals. I'm also the author of the award-winning book Contesting Intersex, The Dubious Diagnosis and Empirical Analysis of Intersex in Contemporary U.S. Society. It was published by New York University Press in 2015. Generally speaking, has been positively reviewed in 11 scholarly outlets, including the American Journal of Sociology and the Sociology of Health and Illness, top journals in the sociology field. Since the fall of 2014, I have been a sociology faculty member at the University of Nevada, Las Vegas, where I have flourished as an academic and as a Nevadan. Among other commitments outside of the university, I am a board president of Interact Advocates for Intersex Youth and the past president of AIS DSD Support Group. It's the largest intersex support groups in the world for intersex people and their families. Through my professional research and my personal involvement in intersex advocacy, I've met thousands of intersex people and their families from all around the world. I've interacted with nearly every medical expert who treats intersex people in the United States. And in addition to being a proud Nevadan transplant, I am also intersex myself. Intersex people are born with sex characteristics that are not typically male or female, which I think you've heard enough about, so I will pass that. While I do have a vagina, I was born with internal and undescended testes and XY chromosomes rather than ovaries, a uterus, fallopian tubes, and XX chromosomes. My intersex trait was not discovered until I was a teenager in the early 1990s, not all that long ago, although maybe it is. Time is passing. Sorry, that was supposed to be funny. That's okay, pity laughs, we're out of time. Concerning to me are the irreversible interventions that doctors routinely perform on intersex bodies in order to squeeze them into a sex box. For example, when I was a teenager, doctors removed my healthy internal testes solely because they felt that I would not need them as a girl, despite the fact I lived with them for 13, 14, 15, 16 years of my life. The subsequent surgery left me sterilized, despite all sorts of advancements in medical techniques that I don't need to tell you about here, but such as in vitro, surrogacy, etc. I will never be able to have biological children. Aside from being infertile now, I also have other physical ailments as a result of the operation. Because doctors surgically removed my testes, the primary producer of sex hormones in my body, and an important component of my bone health, I was left with brittle bones. I was eventually diagnosed with osteopenia. I additionally have extremely low sex hormone levels, which means I will be dependent upon external and artificial sex hormones for the rest of my life. Now, some studies suggest that the number of intersex people range from 1 in 150 to 1 in 2,000 live births, but this is just an educated guess. We do not have a reliable estimate of intersex in the population. But what we do know is that, or at least I know, is that this phenomenon is common enough that I'm confident that every single person on this committee has met at least one intersex person, and that would be me. And then Tiger, right? That would be two. So now that I have testified in support of SB408, I can be certain that you have met intersex people. I need your support of SB408, as do countless other intersex Nevadans, both who are living and those who have not yet been born. SB408 will put an end to the injustices that intersex people like me have historically been forced to endure, medically unnecessary and irreversible surgeries performed without consent. This testimony, again, I offer here is grounded in my empirical research and in my personal experience, but it is also congruent with statements from the United Nations and other governing bodies have determined that these types of procedures...
I need you to please start wrapping it up.
I will. Thank you. That these surgeries are akin to mutilation. I plead with you to join me, to join the other countless scholars of intersex activists, and the United Nations and stand in support of intersex people and their families. Please vote yes on SB408. And I just want to say that when you hear from folks who are against SB408, which I'm sure you will, I would like you to consider if you're hearing from anyone who themselves is intersex and what their thoughts are who are against SB408. Thank you very much for your time. I really appreciate all that you do for Nevada.
Thank you very much for your comments. Is there anyone else